Hello and welcome back to the Crypto Saving Expert news show, where we keep you up to date with the latest cryptocurrency news so that you know exactly what is going on within the markets. Today, we are going to remember to put the prices up on the screen so you can see what's happening. We have $16,000, $16,630 for Bitcoin and $1,200 for Ethereum. When we take a look at the Bitcoin chart, we haven't seen too much. We're in the green for the daily candle of today, though, so it's not looking too bad. I think I've not even mentioned that Jordan's here yet. We have that Martini guy with us, and he is going to talk to us about some of the trades he's made in the last couple of days.
Okay, yeah, so this is currently on my screen right now. So basically, when it comes to the trades that I've been making these past couple of days, I've been looking for long positions around these levels here, around these levels here, around these levels here. I've been looking to long Bitcoin kind of around that $16,600, $16,400 level. Just on the pure presumption and understanding that we're in this kind of period of time between Christmas and New Year where you get small whales that are able to push the price of Bitcoin around using insane amounts of leverage to make a lot of money very quickly. It's what we see time and time again. You see the price of Bitcoin dropping down and then it pumps immediately back up. It drops down, it pumps immediately back up. It drops down, it pumps immediately back up, and it drops down. And in theory, it should pump immediately back up because we don't have any clear sentiment right now. We don't have anything clear going into the new year. The only thing that's clear about Bitcoin right now is that it's clearly doing not that much. Is the best way to put it. There isn't a whole lot of things happening in the cryptocurrency markets. What we're seeing is significant improvements in development, significant improvements in applications, and significant improvements in people using these DeFi protocols and lending functions. We're actually seeing the amount of money within these yielding platforms as well starting to increase again, which is fantastic news. We're starting to see growth of these kind of industry sectors, and that's ultimately going to trickle down into the markets, and you will see some money and liquidity restoring to traditional markets. Like, well, when I say traditional markets, you see that money returning to Bitcoin. It's not really a traditional market, it's more so niche. It's just, for me, it's traditional. I've been doing it every day since I can remember, like 10 years. Every single day I've been looking at the price of Bitcoin. But yeah, from my perspective right now, the markets are looking not positive, not negative. They're looking pretty flat. So when it goes a bit low in this range, because all Bitcoin is doing is ranging. Don't forget, like, how long Bitcoin has been ranging now. Bitcoin has been ranging now in this specific range right here, this one right here. This goes on since the 16th of December. If we go further back, we actually exclude this anomaly right here. This range has been going on for a very, very, very long period of time, between $15,600 and $18,000, a net rise of 20%, so 20% volatility since November. So this is in 2 months, essentially now, because we're at the end of December, we've had 20% volatility for Bitcoin. Whereas the 2 months prior to that, again, we kind of had about 20% volatility, to be honest. What actually is that volatility within this period? Bottom to top, that volatility period, yeah, about 20%. And that would have been over a 2-month period. But that, again, was a pretty flat period of time. But we used to move around so significantly more. And this is when you have larger market participation happening. Back when Bitcoin was a bit higher in price, you used to see the price of Bitcoin going up, going down, going up, going down. Whereas these days, it does just tend to trade a lot sideways. And this sideways volatility is just basically giving a little bit more power and just power to the smaller individuals, smaller players in the market. It's no longer are institutions trading Bitcoin. It's pretty clear that institutions are not really trading that much Bitcoin volume right now. It's more so clear that you've got your smaller VC funds in crypto really starting to take charge again, which is good because it means the market is reset at this point. The big players have left. The people that believe in this stuff have stayed. And ultimately, Sam wrecked all of his institutional clients and friends at FTX. So they all don't trust crypto anymore, and we're not going to get favorable cryptocurrency regulation. So we're back on that same warpath that we were in 2017, 2018, 2019, whereby we're in essentially the same position. The setbacks from this bear market have been enough to reset all of the good that has been done the past few years, but it's giving everybody another opportunity to make this another fantastic thing again. So good times are around the corner. It'll be a good new year. At some point in the new year, there'll be a good time. I don't know when within the new year. It could be a very long time within the new year. We don't know. But yeah, my analysis kind of concludes with essentially, I'm looking for now Bitcoin to break above this next key level of resistance, be somewhere around these levels right here. It depends if you want to plot it like that or like this. I mean, we are pretty close to it, no matter what way you plot it. Essentially, if you were to put the level at somewhere between somewhere around $16,700, the break of $16,700, $16,750, then takes us back up to this range No, that is 16,750. Takes us back up to the top of this range right here, around 16,800. And really, it's the breakout of this red line right here that would then yield a much higher high. I don't really think it is a high, but it'd yield an increase in price, and that increase in price would be approximately around 8%. And that's really the big move that I'm looking for right now. But you can guarantee whenever that big move comes, people will go, oh, 8% is not a big move. 8% is a massive move. The last time we got an 8% move was this one right here, and it feels like months ago. So I wish there was some more volatility. That's all I can say. Yeah, Jess, you can take my screen off now.
Yeah, the amount of tabs you had on that was disgusting. But yeah,
this is just one browser window. I have like 10 of those open.
How'd you find anything? Well, we are looking at here is the Crypto Saving Expert website. Just a little sneak peek of the Bitcoin page, what you can see over on the site, but we're not going to look at anything else. Keep that a little bit secret, but we're doing some user testing behind the scenes, and that will go live in the new year and is looking very, very nice. So if you want to be one of the first people to use the site, make sure to go over to cryptosavingexpert.com and sign up over here, and you can be one of the first to use it, and you get a newsletter every single Tuesday at 11 a.m. But for now, let's take a look at the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency news. So the first one we have is FTX's SBF reportedly met with the Big Short writer for a book or movie deal. I think you tweeted something about this saying you had to get the money from somewhere. The dust is yet to settle on the FTX fiasco, and its former and founder CEO, SBF, is allegedly looking to cash in on the sequence of events that led to its collapse. According to a New York Post report, Sam Bankman-Fried has met with Michael Lewis, the critically acclaimed author of the Hollywood blockbuster The Big Short. Sam Bankman-Fried and Mr. Lewis have spent several hours together at the home of SBF's parents, where the former FTX CEO is holed up under house arrest. Mr. Lewis, also the writer of another Hollywood favorite, Moneyball, reportedly discussed with SBF the latest twist in the FTX saga, which involves his arrest and a long list of criminal charges that could see Sam serve up to 115 years in federal prison. The words aren't coming out my mouth very smoothly this morning. The report added that Mr. Lewis and SBF has been collaborating for over 6 months and long before FTX's collapse in mid-November. Lewis's representatives have touted Sam Bankman-Fried's story as more than sufficient for a signature Michael Lewis book. So it's quite funny that if they started that 6 months ago, it would have been about a brilliant crypto expert, and now it's turned into this. But it'd be an interesting watch, I think.
I mean, I'd love to see the film, and I don't blame him for selling the rights to the story. I would absolutely do the same in his situation. Ultimately, he's got to pay for those expensive lawyers somehow, and it tends to be they're selling your story to Hollywood. It pays the bills. It pays them very, very well in Sam's position as well. So, I mean, a movie like that'll probably make at least 100 million in the box office, meaning that Sam can probably sell it for at least 10, and that'll pay for your lawyers for 6 months, won't it? So yeah, go for it, Sam. Get it sold.
Someone on Twitter has said The Big Short was about someone predicting a market and holding strong. This movie would be about someone stealing all the money, having some orgies, then not being able to listen to all the lawyers advising him to shut up. I don't know if that's got epic potential.
It does. It really does, because that is such a much more exciting movie than The Big Short. The Big Short is about one guy that makes a decent decision. It pays off after a long period of time. Sam took your money. He gambled the hell out of it, lost it all, and then found himself in this big, deep crater. It's a fantastic story. He ruined a lot of lives, don't get me wrong, but that makes the story better. So, collateral damage for a good story, that's what you need.
It would be a very interesting watch, I think.
That'd be fascinating. The problem is if it's done by Hollywood, would it be done in a good, sensible way, or would it be done in this ditzy way that makes crypto look bad? That would be my concern, because you do tend to experience a significant lack of understanding of the stuff from these kind of more institutional folk, and it doesn't always come across great, in my opinion.
And it'd be interesting to see how they portray Sam as well, because they could really paint him as whatever they wanted.
I mean, they'll paint him as some drug addict weirdo that like Jeffrey Epstein or something. It is what it is. I personally don't think Sam is like Jeffrey Epstein. I believe that he does have probably some issues with drugs, being that he looked very different coming out of prison, almost like he'd been on a come down for a few days. But you know, it does happen to these people that get very wealthy very quickly, and they need some kind of coping mechanism. I think that Sam ultimately dug himself a deep hole. Probably a very nice guy, but dug himself a deep hole and didn't know how to get out, so he just kept digging. It's one of them unfortunate situations. Got too big. Continue anyway, Jess.
No, I agree with that. I think he just carried on, and you can't really stop. Well, you can stop it, but it's hard to stop something like that, isn't it? Moving on to the next article, there we have Galaxy Digital acquires Argo Blockchain's Bitcoin mining facility for $65 million. The deal also includes a $35 million loan from Galaxy. Mike Novogratz-led Galaxy Digital has agreed to buy Argo Blockchain's flagship Bitcoin mining facility, Helios, for $65 million. The mining facility is located in Dickens County, Texas, and Galaxy Digital has agreed to host Argo's mining machines at the plant. The deal comes a day after Argo suspended trading of a NASDAQ-listed shares, ADS, pending an announcement, which turned out to be the acquisition of its Helios mining facility by Galaxy Digital. I think that is a very strong move to buy a mining company right now, because it's probably the part of the cheapest it's going to get, and in the next bull market it would be very, very profitable.
You know, there was one trade that I really regret not doing from the previous bear market, and that was buying ant miners. I had the opportunity last bear market to buy, it was like about 1,000 ant miners, and it was only going to cost me about $50 each. And if I'd have sold them during the next bull market, I would have got about $1,000 each for them. So I would have done a 20x on mining machines, because the demand for mining machines increases significantly when Bitcoin's price goes up. Because when nobody wants to mine Bitcoin, everybody wants to sell their miners. So miners become essentially worthless because mining is not profitable. So the machines, and nobody wants them. But then as soon as Bitcoin mining becomes profitable, because the price of Bitcoin has gone back up, buying a mining machine suddenly makes a hell of a lot of sense, because now you can plug this thing into your wall and it generates you a lot of money. Of course, the increasing cost of electricity is putting people off, but then we have increasing amounts of people investing in green and renewable energy. It doesn't exist for the most part. You know, you've got to make solar panels. They do come from somewhere, but it does kick the can down the road. And so these kick the can down the road green methods, you should watch a Michael Moore documentary, Jess. It's about climate change. It was very, very interesting. You're on mute, I didn't hear you then. But you should watch this Michael Moore documentary about climate change. Very interesting. About all modern methods to solve climate change are essentially useless. The best method of solving climate change is sticking with what we've got and switching from combustion engines to using hydrogen-powered things and using water instead of petrol. That's the best way of doing it. Unfortunately, most of the things that we use in our lives, no matter how much we want them to be green, are bad for the environment. Your computer is made of plastic. It's got to get formed out. So anyway, I'm getting really distracted there. The best trade I could have ever made, or one of the best trades I could have ever made on a hardware asset, with mining machines during the previous bear market, $50 a piece, up to $1,000 a piece. The new mining machines cost about $7,000 each if you're to buy them new. On the second-hand markets, you can currently buy them for about $3,000. That may go lower if Bitcoin's price goes lower. And if you can buy these mining machines at these real low prices, you don't even have to plug them into your wall. Just wait till Bitcoin goes back up, and you'll be able to sell them for a profit, because there'll be an increase in spark in demand. Look on eBay right now. Look how many mining machines are for sale. You can snap up some bargains right now. What I was looking at, though, is basically taking over somebody's old mining farm. And I'm actually looking up at setting my own up now, because it's one of the cheapest times to set up a mining farm is in a bear market with cheap material. Anyway, continue.
Carrying on back to this article, then we have Galaxy Digital to lend an additional $35 million to Argo. So in addition to selling the Helios Bitcoin mining facility, Argo has entered into a $35 million loan agreement with Galaxy Digital with an initial term of 36 months. 23,619 Bitmain S19J Pro mining machines will collateralize the loan at the Helios location and specific machines located at Argo's data centers in Canada. Argo added that it agreed with its other subsidiaries to guarantee to provide certain additional collateral for the financing. Argo's CEO explained, "This transaction with Galaxy is a transformational one for Argo and benefits the company in several ways. It reduces our debt by $41 million and provides us with a stronger balance sheet and enhanced liquidity to help ensure continued operations through the ongoing bear market. It also allows us to focus on optimizing our operations with significantly lower capex and opex requirements. So as long as the mining companies manage to make it through the next couple of months, they're in for a nice bull market. So just getting through this period is the toughest. Like everybody in the cryptocurrency space, when you're through this period, you're onto the running.
Well, yeah, it is a very expensive period. If you think about now, all of these mining companies, every dollar that they spend costs them 85% more than the dollar that they would spend at the start of the year, because the price of Bitcoin is down 85%. Suddenly things become a whole lot more rational about why these companies are going bust, because all of their resources are drying up. And a mining company is generally not profitable every month, because if you understand how Bitcoin mining works, there is no guarantee of actually solving a block. You can go a while without making any money and then make a bunch all in one go. And that's because basically it's like playing the lottery is how Bitcoin mining works. There is a block reward available, and then there's a flat fee that you pay or receive for processing transactions. But your block reward is what is paid out, and there is only one block reward every 7 seconds. So if there is, say, 1 million people mining Bitcoin and one is distributed every 7 seconds, you've got to have more mining machines than the next guy. And being that there are millions and millions of mining machines throughout the world, this is why people hate Bitcoin, because think of that energy. But at the same time, think of all the energy being used in the banks. I am one of those people, though, that does advocate for more proof of stake type stuff, because it is better for the earth. And I do care about the earth. The earth is a nice thing. We should try not to ruin it.
There is the argument I was reading about the other day that stakers on proof of stake have no real commitment to the network. They can leave at any point, but the proof of work means that the miners are in it for the long haul, and it kind of brings that layer of security that proof of stake doesn't have.
It's true. It's this difficult thing of you've got, if you have fun, like asset investment in the real world into something that's in the not real world, then it becomes somewhat more real, and that's why people prefer it. I guess with Ethereum switching to proof of stake, it is an interesting thing. Look, you've got a bunch of coins, but what actually are you bringing to the network? Well, okay, you're hosting a node, but you're using AWS, and you can just turn it off at any 1 second. What actually are you committing to? It's a good point. I've never really thought about it so much like that. But at the same time, I would say, look at crypto saving expert as a business, and we are building things on Ethereum, at least at some point in the future. When we're building things on Ethereum, it means that we're committing developer costs. And so this is where I would say you get your security from your proof of stake chains is, yeah, we're not investing in hardware, but we're investing in staffing costs, development costs, all these other kinds of costs that are associated with building on top of a protocol. And that net investment is into that protocol, essentially, to help bring adoption to that protocol. So your security is not necessarily by hardware investment, it's by software investment, which is all essentially the same thing. It's like, do you use your mobile wallet on your phone more frequently than you use your ledger? Yes, you do. Okay, well, your mobile wallet on your phone is more useful than your ledger. Even though your ledger is probably technically safer, although saying that I don't, as a person, rate ledger, because they did leak my details, everyone else's details that's ever bought anything from them. They just leaked it to the dark web and then sold them details to anybody that wanted to buy them. So yeah, not a big fan of ledger. Probably wasn't the best example. Use Engrave. Engrave is a much better wallet solution. Anyway, I'm getting distracted again.
Let's take a look at the next article now. We've got a couple more to go through, so let's carry on with this. Microstrategy has bought the dip, and they have bought 132,500 Bitcoin. So Michael Saylor's not CEO of Microstrategy anymore. He stepped down. He's now in another position there. But they're continuing to buy the dip. They're in quite a big loss right now, I believe. They've approximately bought $42.8 million worth, and they further topped up its Bitcoin on the December the 24th with 810 new Bitcoin. Oh, sorry. That's the 42.8 million is the value altogether. They've bought them at an average price of 17,871 Bitcoin. Now, so they're continuing to buy the dip, and I think that brings a bit of confidence into the space, because when you see big companies buying the dip and dollar cost averaging down, it shows other people that this is the thing to do. It's very difficult to do. It's horrible to see the price go down, but the more we can dollar cost average, and when we see bigger companies dollar cost averaging as well, it does create a bit of confidence in the space. A small amount might be clutching at straws, but
I want to address something there in that when you described that earlier with the price of Bitcoin and that it's wrong. Basically, MicroStrategy did too much buying at the highs. They only started buying at $20,000, and their average price, if you go a little bit further down, is $30,397. I don't know. I think they're talking about the average price of the purchase that they made this particular time in December, with an average purchase price of 17,871. Rather, their actual average purchase price is 30,397. So you know that Michael Saylor is deep in the crap with his shareholders. But at the same time, Michael Saylor is more incentivized than ever to go out and shill this to all of his billionaire mates. So hopefully one of those billionaires is watching this right now. Come and save us from drowning in this sea of bears. Come and buy the dip, sir. It would be greatly appreciated. I think, or Madden. It could be Madden. You never know. Anyway, yeah, I think one of the other things it says in here is that the latest purchase comes when Bitcoin's value has reached new lows with the price, blah, blah, blah. I actually think this is probably the lowest price that MicroStrategy has ever paid for Bitcoin, or second lowest price MicroStrategy has ever paid for Bitcoin. From what I recall, they didn't start buying until the bull market had already begun. And then Michael Saylor's like, all of a sudden, like, oh my God, Bitcoin's amazing. And he fueled it, but yeah, it didn't last, did it, unfortunately?
No,
Michael,
and
add some more fuel.
About the liquidation price for them being around $18,000 or something, where we are right now.
Yeah, no, it's not that. The actual, so they've got several, the way that MicroStrategy is doing it essentially is they have margin calls, they'll never get liquidated. Basically, they are borrowing funds in order to do some of these purchases. Their first margin call point is about $13,500. So if Bitcoin price gets down to $13,500, essentially what happens at that point in time is the company that has loaned MicroStrategy the money will then say, look, we need a down payment right now of, say, $20 million. They won't ask for the full several billion up front. They will ask for a portion of that. And then from there, the lower it goes, the more margin payments they have to make in order to maintain their position size. Otherwise, then they'll have to start decreasing the size of their position, because MicroStrategy is not doing 100%, as they say, with cash. Then they're doing it against shares. They're doing it like in all sorts of weird and wonderful ways. I have no idea where they're getting all of this money from. Probably a good question to ask somebody is that. You probably should somebody ask that to Michael. It would be good. I know he makes a lot of money, but he spent $4 billion on something and it's now worth $2 billion. It's got to sting to some extent. At the same time, nobody's talking about this, but Elon Musk's net worth is down like hundreds and hundreds of billions this year. Why is nobody talking about this? Like, the guy was like a long way in the lead of richest man on earth, and I don't think he's actually the richest man on earth anymore. He doesn't hold as much Tesla stock as what he used to. The price of Tesla stock is down 75% so far this year. Like, how can he still be the world's richest man unless he had a lot of money before?
It sounds very painful. Everyone's losing a lot of money. When we're talking about MicroStrategy, I think buying the dip right now is a pretty sensible option for them, because they don't really have any of the trees. They're in a bit too deep to
Well, yeah, they can't. But the other thing is, right, I wonder if they're buying through Grayscale, because that would make a massive amount of sense right now. Because if you go on Grayscale's website, you can currently buy Bitcoin for $8,000 a coin, and you can buy Ethereum for $500 a coin. How come you can buy Bitcoin for $8,000 a coin, which is half of the current price? And how can you buy Ethereum for $500 a coin, which is again half of the current price? Because basically they have a fund that trades on top of their assets that they bought. So Grayscale bought, say, 1,000 Bitcoin. 1,000 Bitcoin is worth, I should have done the mental maths off the top of my head, but I've committed to it now, about $168 million, if I remember correctly. So you've got $168 million of Bitcoin that they've bought, and currently the value of their fund is worth about $80 million. That means that potentially they have assets that are backed. The backed assets that they've got are worth 160 million, but the value of the fund is only trading at 80 million, meaning that if you buy one share, which represents one Bitcoin in a Grayscale Bitcoin fund, it means that you can purchase one Bitcoin right now for $8,000. And also, what's interesting to note is at one point in time, Bitcoin actually did reach $100,000 this year, but it only reached it on Grayscale's exchange because Grayscale was trading at 50% premium when Bitcoin was $70,000. So actually, Bitcoin on Grayscale's exchange reached like $120,000, something like that. If you're going off the Grayscale Bitcoin premium, which is now not a premium anymore. But expect when institutions start returning and we start seeing significant investment back into the space, something like Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust is going to become a very, very valuable asset to be holding, possibly more so valuable than Bitcoin because it's at $8,000 right now and Bitcoin 16,000. So I mean, I've bought one Bitcoin today and I bought 2 shares in Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust. So I bought 3 Bitcoin altogether, 2 of which are worth $8,000 each. And I figure, we may as well have a shot at this one. I'm going to buy some Ethereum as well. So yeah, if anybody wants to know how to buy $8,000 Bitcoin, look into it. You'll find a way. It's not the world's most easy thing to do, right? But yeah, you'll find a way.
No, it's a very good opportunity to take advantage of, I think. Let's carry on to the next article now. We have North Korean hackers are now posing as crypto VCs in a new phishing scam. Hackers hailing from North Korea are increasingly adapting and changing their ways of obtaining sensitive information from their targets, which will open the doors to accessing their hard-earned digital assets, such as cryptocurrencies and NFTs. According to cybersecurity firm Kaspersky Blue Noroth, an offshoot of the infamous North Korean state-sponsored Lazarus Group responsible for the record-breaking $600 million Axie Infinity hack, has devised a new phishing scheme by posing as crypto VCs to deliver malicious malware to target electronic devices. Now, I think it's a very risky space right now. I feel like the amount of hacks has slowed down a little bit because the markets are down. We've seen worse.
I wouldn't really say the correlation works that way. I'd say the lower it goes, the more there is. But I guess maybe you run out of things to exploit because people learn how past hacks were done and then implement those changes to their protocols. So it does become like less doable over time.
Coding languages used in cryptocurrency haven't been around for long enough for us to fully know every exploit that's possible. But as the time's going on, we're getting there. We're seeing improvements all of the time.
Well, we should see some improvements with Crypto Saving Expert over the next month or so, and people can finally use the thing. That'd be great.
Be very good.
Not long left to go on that. Finally, and then we can start focusing on actually building something that you guys can see and use. Sign up to CryptoSavingExpert.com. Sign up to our mailing list. Thank you.
And make sure to like and subscribe on the stream. We haven't said that yet.
Yeah, like and subscribe. That's another thing, actually, guys. So everybody watching this, if you all went and go down below, press that little thumbs up button. If you do that, it'll make our videos get promoted in the algorithm more. That'll help me build this business, and it'll make it so much easier for everybody. We have so many staff. I've done my best to keep everything continuing as normal throughout this entire bumpy period. So yeah, if you could just help us out, slap a like on the video. Again, share it on your own social media profiles. I do really, really appreciate that. I don't like asking for this stuff, but it's required, unfortunately, especially in a bear market, that you support us so that then we can support you with more great content going forward into the future. So slap a like, subscribe, and share this video in your group chats with your mates and stuff so that then they can get back into crypto. Like, if you don't want to get told off by your mates, then tell them to buy Bitcoin now. Don't tell them to buy Bitcoin when it's $60,000. Tell them to buy it now because now is a good time. $60,000 was not a good time. That was too late. Even me, I was getting itchy feet around there. Yeah, now is an amazing time to be telling people to get in because they won't hate you in 2 years. They'll probably think that you're God. So send this content to your friends. I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
No, now is a good time to be talking about it. I was saying in yesterday's live stream, the whole space just doesn't bring as much fear to me as it did at the top because every time I was buying, I was thinking, yeah, this can't go on for much longer. It was just going up to what we felt like was infinity. But now it feels like it's a safe space to continue dollar cost averaging and not have much less risky
especially
trades.
in some of the stuff. Like I look at some of my bags and I've got actually so many bags that have not launched yet. I've probably got like $500,000 in investments that haven't launched. But the ones that have launched and have launched into this market, they're all in a loss. And I do think like some of you guys are going to get amazing deals on some of these coins that I'm going to talk about over the next few weeks on my own channel. They're way cheaper than what I've actually paid for them. To give you an example, no, I won't give an example on this stream. This is Crypto Saving Expert, professional business. We don't talk too much about what's the word? I won't say shitcoinery, but I do mean shitcoinery here. That's exactly what I mean. I mean delving into the 1000x gems. We saved that for my channel. That's where I talk about that. If you want the good stuff, go there. If you want the more sensible market outlook, stay on Crypto Saving Expert. It's just me that goes completely degenerate with it. But we've achieved so many 100x's and 1000x's over the past few years. I'm not bothered. We'll smack a few more this next year. I've already found like at least 3 that I'm very, very confident will at least 100x. So I mean, there's more than 3 that I've found, but like it's in 100% certain these things are going to bang next year. Because all you need to do is find a project with about $40 million in funding, with a market cap of about $1 million or less, and you'll know that at some point is going to pop. So yeah, it's just looking at who's behind it, how much money they've got, what they're actually developing, what they're building, and how that is going to affect the token. Because I think there's some good stuff out there. Recapture for one. You know, recapture, when you go through your system, you've got to click on the photos that are screenshots from Google or whatever, click on the cards. There's one called H-Capture. H-Capture is majorly adopted by all crypto projects at this point, and all crypto businesses are using it to stop DDoS attacks. But H-Capture also has a coin. I invested in their seed rounds for that coin, and it's not in a profit, it's in a very significant loss. I don't even know if I'll ever see a profit out of it. But my point is, people don't even know they have a coin, and I'm not sure how well they've tied that coin into their tokenomics, or if that's something that comes in 2 years' time. I need to research that myself, and if I can figure it out, there's a team there that's got $100 million in funding, and they're already, as a business, making money from all these people that are using their service. So it'll be around for a long time. So therefore, is the coin worth having? Don't know. I don't. That's not saying you should buy it, by the way. Please don't. Just as an example. I'm waffling now anyway. Just go on to the next story, or is that it?
No, we've got a couple more stories first before we finish. We've got 2 more. We have Crypto Winter claims another victim.
Oh, 1 second. Everybody, 1 second. Everybody smash the like button. We're nearly at, I mean, it'd be nice if we could get 100 likes on the stream. That'd be amazing, but I don't know if we're going to get there. But smash the like button. Mine has us at 38.
Oh, not bad.
So we can try.
It's good to aim high.
Yeah.
Taking a look at this one, Crypto Winter claims another victim. Midas Investments shuts down with $63 million DeFi deficit. Taking a look at this, it stems from the catastrophic collapse of crypto giants such as FTX and Terra Luna. Announcing the closure today, the company's CEO, also known as Trevor, stated that the firm suffered a significant loss of $50 million in 2022, representing 20% of its $250 million in assets under management. Trevor also disclosed that the significant loss was further compounded by the recent collapse of centralized lenders such as Celsius and Sam Bankman-Fried's crypto empire FTX, resulting in an outflow of assets from Midas of more than 60%. So it's just another domino in the lines that we've seen since May's UST collapse. We're just continuing to see this happen now. It will eventually come to an end, hopefully sooner rather than later. But it's another one that's painful to see, but we'll get through it. There's a quote here. In the spring of 2022, Midas DeFi portfolio suffered a cumulative loss of $50 million. After Celsius and FTX events, the platform experienced over 60% of AUM being withdrawn, creating a large asset deficit. Based on this situation and current CeFi market conditions, we have reached the difficult decision to close the platform. Now, hopefully we don't see too much more of these things taking place. But this is a sign to me that we're approaching the end of the bear market when we're seeing all this negative news. It feels...
Yeah, I mean, it feels like bottom news, but I mean,
everything's felt like bottom news for the past 6 months.
It's just been a horrible 6 months, but this is how bear markets are. It's just like bankruptcy after bankruptcy after bankruptcy. It's interesting to see the dominoes from FTX are falling. I still think there's a few more dominoes to fall. I think that probably Solana is one of those dominoes, unfortunately. Being that I think it's like 20% of the supply of Solana is held by FTX. At the point whereby they have to sell. I'm short on Solana right now. But if they have to sell their if FTX's liquidators have to sell FTX's Solana coins, the price of Solana goes to zero. Like it goes to zero. The thing that Solana has going for it is it's got a massive community, a lot of developers, and significant investment. The thing that Solana doesn't have going for it is the largest holder of Solana is currently on trial for fraud and all these other things that he's done. And this can be a bit of an issue. It would be like if the largest holder of the US dollar was a criminal organization, even though it is. But if it would be like if the largest holder of the US dollar was a criminal organization and that completely undermined and they had to sell all of those dollars onto the markets, which would then crush the exchange rate between the US dollar and everything else, which just would. Same thing for Solana. The project itself might not die, it might not go, but its credibility could be ruined to the point whereby people lost so much money on it, it just never fully recovers. It's like, I guess, getting shot in the face. You can live, but you'll never look the same again.
We've also seen projects move from Solana to the Ethereum network in the last couple of days as well. So if that continues,
there's those NFTs, but then I think, who cares? There's a picture of, was it D-God's NFTs and Utes NFTs?
Mm-hmm.
Do people care? I don't care. These are pictures at the end of the day. Let's get back to trading. Pictures are nonsense. The reason, like my specific reason as a person, I'll humor people that do like NFTs, but as somebody that doesn't particularly like NFTs, what I don't like about NFTs is you can have a token that is 10,000 in supply. You can attach a picture to each one, and then you go, okay, these tokens are now art. What you've actually created there is an illiquid coin that people then have to list it on OpenSea to sell it and then give you 10% of the value of that coin when it sells. To me, this sounds like a scam. I don't like this system. This system doesn't make sense. When you have, but better off just having a token whereby the users that hold the token get to keep all of the value in that token and trade that token. By attaching a picture to a token and having less tokens available, so rather than having a supply of 1 billion, you have a supply of 10,000. You artificially inflate the price of each token because the market cap should stay the same, assuming the value of the project is no different. And by doing that, it gives everything like, oh, this $100 picture is worth $100. No, it's not. It's worth whatever somebody is willing to pay for it. And that's why we see the price of NFTs that nobody wants crashing to zero so quickly, because it's not a liquidity-based system. You can't have a liquidity unless you set up bots to purchase at a certain price, then there is no market making on these things. There is no liquidity of the markets being provided. It's why altcoins are so much better than NFTs in terms of an actual successful tool to make money on the internet. An NFT is good if you're good at flipping them and you're doing it with high value blue chip NFTs. If you're doing it with small ones, you're playing with fire and you probably won't make money over a long period of time. Over a short period of time.
It's a huge issue. But I didn't, in the Zebu Live on your chat, didn't you ask some of the exchanges how they were going to solve the liquidity issue for NFTs to make it a more desirable market?
Yeah.
Didn't really get an answer.
I know, but nobody gives you an answer to this. They just go, oh yes, we'll make this thing, and no, you won't. Because do you want to be stuck holding the bag? Do you really want to hold $20 million of pictures of cats? No, you don't. Nobody does, because they're worthless. So don't buy them in the first place. Don't credit these, what I consider to be complete scams, with anything. You can invest in the utility of a project. You can speculate on the utility and the increase in utility in a project. A picture never gets useful. And unless it's like, oh yeah, but we're using this for events. Well, all of these things that I've seen with events, they do like 1 or 2 events and that's it. And they just pocket the rest of the $7 million that there is. Dolce, I invested $100,000 into one Dolce & Gabbana NFT, me thinking blue chip this one, it should go well. That NFT is currently worth about $7,000 if I was to sell it on the market. I lost $93,000 on a picture of a box. What have I got in return for a picture of a box? I got about 4 pairs of Dolce & Gabbana trainers worth about $4,000 if they were to be sold retail, but I would never have bought them, so therefore they're worthless to me. So essentially, you could say you should have bought a better NFT. I agree with you. It was a terrible decision. But what have I got in return for that NFT? I'd say I got a kick in the teeth and they've pocketed $80,000 off the back of me. So yeah, that's the purpose of NFTs. They're just fundraising scams for big companies, small companies, and medium-sized companies. Waste of time. That's my
Some
thought.
of them with real use cases aren't too, like the gaming NFTs. I'm not a gamer myself, but they're
some are good, but not all. Like most of them are bad. Like 99% are bad. Like the gaming ones, yeah, but you need the game to take off, which is another question. Can the game take off? Is it a decent game? Is anyone going to use it? Do they have the marketing budget? Are they going to employ Twitch streamers? Is there a plan to employ 100 Twitch streamers from third world countries so they can pay them nothing, but nobody will actually watch them stream? Probably it is. So therefore, it's never going to take off. Basically, I guess what the market has done to me in this bear market is maybe a bit more cynical, which is good. I mean, I'm making better decisions these days by being more cynical. But yeah, it's one of the effects that the bear market has on you. Compare this video now to a video from a year ago. It's probably a very different version of me from a year ago. Here's what it is.
But I think even in the next bull market, we'll forget some of these lessons we've learned in this bear market and we'll make some other mistakes. Hopefully not as many.
I am going to be the predator next time. I'm going for the bag. Someone's going to clip that now. But I am. My aim next time round is I want to be a billionaire. And I think this time round I was too nice. And I was too honest with project founders that all turn out to be liars. They tell you that they have developments coming. What they actually mean is we've got nothing. We're not doing anything. We're just taking your money and running and buying yachts. Next time round, I will not be as nice with these founders. Also, now we have a whole team of crypto saving expert that we can dog them with and make sure that we hold them all to account. So the market is going to be very different next time round. There's going to be a lot more accountability. And that'll be coming from organizations like ours. It'll be coming from all sorts of people because nobody wants round two without getting to keep the bag next time. I suppose you could say.
I was speaking to someone yesterday, though, that I think everybody in the cryptocurrency space has made one big mistake and then they've learned from it. So having the next bull market come around will be very, very nice for a lot of people. Let's take a look at the chat and see what's happening over there. Bear markets turn TMG skinny, said Lord Spud.
Yeah, they do. I mean, also there is the fact that I in this bear market decided to go and spend £100,000 starting out a racing career. So then I was like, oh crap, why did I do that? Now I have to go and get fit so that if I crash, I don't die. So that's the other part of it as well. But if you notice it, it's an interesting trend across all crypto influencers. Everybody is losing weight. It's either they can't afford food anymore, or more likely, these people were all pretty smart. They all took profit, and now they're all looking after their health as well as their wealth heading into the next bull run. I know a lot of crypto people that I think will be billionaires next time around, like genuinely billionaires. And I want to join the club, but I'm not that fussed. But I'm all right with 500 mil. Yeah, I'd have a smaller mega yacht.
Let's take the last article of the day now. We've got Binance OKX and KuCoin advise 3Commas users to reset API keys after database leak. So I'll just explain this for people that don't know. An API key allows you is a string of numbers and letters that you can connect into 3Commas, and then you can place buy orders, sell orders, deposit, and withdraw through 3Commas rather than using Binance OKX or KuCoin. So people use 3Commas if they want to make a trading bot or use someone else's trading bot. It makes it a lot simpler. I've used it myself. I have now deleted my API keys from it, but they've leaked these codes that can control people's Binance OKX and KuCoin exchanges they can buy, and when they've got that code, whoever's got them can buy, sell, withdraw. from your trading account. And I think we saw a couple of altcoins pump after this a few weeks after this was released.
There was the engagement between CZ and that guy on Twitter as well. Did you see about this? Coin Mamba on Twitter.
Yeah.
I just want to point out, by the way, guys, everybody watching, slap a like on the stream. We're at 50 likes now. The odds of us reaching 100 before the end of the stream are basically nil. But if we could get closer, that would be great. So slap a like on the stream and thank you all for watching. Subscribe. Press that subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. Continue, Jess. We're going to talk about Coin Mamba now. And I don't know, is Coin Mamba mentioned in this article? I don't think he is going to be mentioned.
So, no.
No.
But we basically, can pull it up.
You pull it up on the screen, and I will go on Twitter and pull it up through there. So basically, what happened with the Coin Mamba thing is there's this guy on Twitter that's been trading using Binance for years, freely promoting them, and then on one day his account basically pumped this coin like maybe 10x. He had like maybe 1 or 2 million in his account or something like this. It's never been disclosed the full amount of money that he's lost, but it's very significant in terms of the amount of money. So you're probably talking $1 or $2 million has been put into a buy order on this coin. But what's happened before is the hacker has bought a bunch of this coin, and then he uses the API key on this other person's account to then purchase loads of this coin from himself. And then he gets all of the other guy's money. And it's one of the smartest scams, because when you work it out, you're like, damn, I should try that. That doesn't sound illegal. It is illegal. Don't try it at home. But it does sound like a really smart little scam to pull, in that you're not actually scamming. You're not taking some other guy's money. You're taking it through the market. And so it looks like he placed the trade. It looks like he bought a bunch of a coin by accident. Here we go. Yes, this is the one.
I can't find the actual argument, but you can see here that the result of this meant that his Binance account was actually closed.
Yeah, so basically Binance shut down his account because he was calling them scammers. In all fairness, Binance are the victims as well in this situation, and it's 3 commas that are at fault. Essentially, 3 commas are leaking API keys that can be used to trade any cryptocurrency that is connected to any one of these exchanges, which is why we're seeing on a lot of these smaller altcoins, suddenly like a bam, straight upwards in a straight line and then straight back to the downside. And we're seeing it quite frequently at the moment. It's become quite a profitable little scam for people to pull. It's why I don't use API keys to trade, because it's very risky. You're better off using an exchange yourself, just using the exchange, than using API keys. API keys ultimately is a vulnerability that you're introducing yourself. Why would you do that? A lot of people use 3 commas to set up like automated trading things. I would not recommend that you do this just for now until all of the bugs have been fixed. But understand that leaks do happen, hacks do happen, and you're always better off your keys, your Bitcoin. The same applies to your API keys. But essentially, when it comes to what's happened here, it's smart. I love it. What a great idea for a scam. It's one of the best ones I've seen in the ages. I mean, we see so much of the same scam over and over again. This one's great. Well done, man. Really good work.
Yeah, it's gone well anyway. Zach XBT has done a bit of digging like he usually does and posted some things on Twitter. So he's notified his followers that they have received a message from an anonymous account that shared a database containing the API trading keys of 3 common users. I think they tested a couple of so a couple of people saw a snippet of the database and confirmed that it was their keys. So that's how it's confirmed that it's actually real information here. And the tweet, a Binance CEO said, "I am reasonably sure there are widespread API key leaks from 3 commas. If you have ever put an API key in 3 commas from any exchange, please disable it immediately." And that is just a really important thing to do now when you see this news. A lot of people just see the news and then carry about the day, but you need to make sure you do that before anything happens.
It's very important because your funds can just leave your account like really quickly. Just make sure you cancel any API key you may have from 3 commas. Understand who was 3 commas largest investor. In fact, I'm going to bring that up on my screen. While
he's bringing that up, don't forget to like, because we are getting very close. We're at 55 likes.
Yeah, go on, slap a like on the thing, on the video. That's it. Come on. Oh, this is interesting. You can actually see on this website all of the other seed rounds that they've been investing into. I invested into all of these, and they've all gone terribly. So, Three Commas as a company is not doing very well because I'm not doing very well in terms of my seed rounds. So I know that their seed rounds are going appallingly. Come on, Three Commas investors, valuation investors. Here we go.
So Three Commas is a really useful site to make it easier for people to make their own trading bots. But making a trading bot is a very complex task. And I think if you've got that far, you can make one that doesn't require a third party like Three Commas. It's very frustrating to me that we come into an industry for transparency and decentralization and cutting out third parties, and then we all run to third parties when we need to do something. But it's the ease of use, isn't it?
It's anyway, I can't find the actual document on the internet now, but basically one of the major investors in Three Commas is FTX. So being that Sam is, I think, the largest single contributor to any raise that Three Commas has ever done, understand that money source has run out now as well. So there will be no payments from bankruptcies when this stuff goes wrong. You will not get your money back. It is gone for good. Slap a like on today's video. Cheer up. It is what it is. The market's in this terrible situation, but that's good. It's opportunity. It depends. Most people shy away from opportunity. Jess, how are you capitalizing on the bear market right now? What are you doing with your life to make you a millionaire in a year's time?
I am trying to make as much content for my YouTube channel as possible at Interpret Crypto. I've not even mentioned on here that I have a YouTube channel myself. And I'm trying to
watches it because you've got to upload videos for people to watch.
I was doing a live stream every day over there as well. But now it's Christmas time. I'm not trading at the moment because it's Christmas time, the volumes are low, and we haven't seen any volatility. And to be perfectly honest, I'm still not sure which way it's going to go from here. There's no indication of a direction yet.
Goes up. It goes
I hope
up.
so. I'm trying to dollar cost average in as much as possible and educate myself as much as possible, which is really useful with a job like mine at Crypto Saving Expert, because I get to read the news every day, which keeps me up to date with what's going on. So it's a lovely job to have.
So really what you should be doing is paying me to work for me so that you can learn more. And that's how it should go on for going forward, I think. Essentially, again, this is a very common question that I get asked in the chat. I don't know why you ask this. Is Jess my girlfriend? No, she's not. No, she's from Liverpool. I would never go out with somebody from Liverpool. That's a ridiculous suggestion. She also has a boyfriend who's probably he's smarter than is he smarter than me? Is your boyfriend smarter than me, Jess?
You do different things. He's a lawyer.
Yeah. He's smarter than me on paper. He's got more qualifications. So there. Having said that, Jess would quite happily date any of you men in the audience. But yeah, I think, I don't know, there's 71 people watching now, Jess, so we may as well do another 5 minutes and try and get these likes up. If you all wouldn't mind, let's try and get 100 likes on a stream. First time to ever get 100 likes on a stream. I'm going to show you a couple of charts right now that I'm going to bring up on my own screen to show you what I'm currently doing in terms of trading the markets, just so we can rehash that before the end of today's live stream. And then we'll close it out for the day. And also we'll probably rehash some of the headlines for the day in just a second as well. That one, this one, go. There we go. So I'm currently sharing my screen. There we go. So this is, of course, the current price of Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin, while we've been filming this live stream, has been doing something rather interesting, aka not going down. It's nice when Bitcoin doesn't go down. Now, this is Bitcoin approaching this level of resistance. As I said at the start of today's live stream, really we need to break through this level of resistance right here. We'll come up to this red level right here, and at the point where we break through the red level, we go all the way back up to $17,000. At the point where Bitcoin is trading above $17,000, we see a significant breakout. However, it's currently the 29th of December. We're not expecting a very significant increase in the price. I mean, Jess, what do you think? Do you think we'll see a significant increase or decrease in the price before the end of the new year? I don't think we will do it this point.
I really don't expect anything until maybe the second week of January where we'll see something.
Second week? Nah, first week. First day. 100K Bitcoin. That's what happens. first day. Let me draw on the chart exactly what's going to happen on the first day of the new year. This is what's going to happen. It's going to be like, bam, 2023. That's 2023. They're out of there. There we go. It's just for confirmation. Everything's going to be fine, guys. Don't worry about it. It'd be amazing if we could get some kind of chart pattern like this. We come back up to the top of here, then maybe come down, retest, bounce, come up. And this is what a wick-off pattern would look like on the chart. Something like this, again, come down, bottom again, and then we come back up, we come around there, and then we start making our way back to the underside of this level of resistance that continue on from there, and then break through, come down, bam, 2024, Bitcoin halving. I'm saying that by this point, we're in 2026. You forget how long ago this was. It feels like it were only yesterday to me, but it were a long time ago now. Like this movement's here. This is 2020, and the actual money that we made, it was all between August 2000 and it was this much. My net worth peaked probably here in terms of the. Nah, I'm lying there. It was here, but I'd made a lot of money by this point in time, and my net worth was not doing bad at all here. It's still like lots and lots. And here, actually, my net worth was lower here than it was here. Interestingly enough, that's because during this run up, altcoins did not perform as well, and I still had a lot of altcoin bags, and people were just dumping throughout this whole period. Whereas you had Bitcoin rallying to the upside, which is why I knew to some extent that the alt market had gone pop by then. Alts were not what they were, and by this whole stage, like right here, this was NFTs. Why do I hate NFTs? NFTs are liquidity grabs. You look at this stage right here. Look what was most popular in the cryptocurrency market. Was it altcoins or was it NFTs? It was NFTs. Why are NFTs? I don't understand why they're more popular, because when you sell an NFT, it tends to be to a non-crypto person, and that non-crypto person then takes that Ethereum and sells it on the market. That's why I hate NFTs, for the same reason that I hate ICOs from 2017, because in 2017 we saw this massive run up in price. Oh my God, all these people making loads of money. Oh no, all the ICOs are now selling all of their money that they've just raised. That was exactly what happened. And so we saw the exact same thing with the NFTs. It was, oh, look at all these NFTs raising money. Oh, no, all the NFTs are now selling all of that money that they've just raised. And then it was like, oh, crap, FTX is bankrupt. Celsius is bankrupt. Everyone's bankrupt now because everybody sold all these NFTs crap and everyone's taking all the money out. That's the problem with this system when you introduce NFTs into it. And people are paying these just absurd amounts of money for pictures of monkeys, for pixelated pictures of humans. None of it makes sense. Slap a like on this live stream. This live stream makes sense. Jess, do you have anything to add to any of that?
No, I'm just very, very excited. I was thinking then about when Bitcoin broke through the $20,000 level in 2021. And it was insane. On the 1 minute chart, it was just shooting to the moon, and it was so fun to watch and trade. And I just can't wait for that to happen again.
It was. If we zoom back in on the chart, it was like this time here. It was, for me, I'll tell you where I realized that I'd bollocked up buying a Lambo. It was at this line right here. At the point when we surpassed the previous high here at 30,500, I was like, damn, I need to fix this. I need to sell this Lambo that I've just bought. Because when I bought the Lambo, the Bitcoin price was around here. When I agreed to buy it was 10,000, but I let me show you the process of buying that car. That was a very expensive lesson to learn. I agreed to buy the car on this week. By the time I came to pay for the car, it was this week. So when I was actually selling the funds to buy the car, it was between $7,500 and $6,500 Bitcoin that I actually got for it, despite agreeing to buy the car at $10,000 Bitcoin. That sucked, because in the span of just a couple of weeks, I was down like 50% on my Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin went down to 3K, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I made the right decision. Thank God I cashed out and bought a Lambo. Just a few weeks later, and I did not feel very positive about that decision at all. That seemed like a very, very stupid decision. So yeah, next time around, I'm not selling at the start, and we will see this kind of situation arise again. If you zoom back in on the chart, you're starting to see similar things occurring on the charts right now than what we had previously. If you was to put a resistance level right here, it wouldn't be the world's most logical level of resistance, but if we were to just plot some kind of things on the chart just to have a look at how we're performing, you look at these kind of two similar lines that we have right here. Imagine that currently Bitcoin is in this kind of phase right here where we're bouncing around below this level of resistance. We're in the exact same thing right now. We do a bunch of crap down here for a while. And then when we come back up, it'll be crazy town. And you know how fast it'll rise back up. It always does. I've seen this so many times now. It's just like this story that just repeats and people forget. Like, remember, whoa, and then oh dear. And then oh my God. And then oh dear. And then oh my God. And then oh dear. And then oh my God. And then oh dear. Oh my God. Oh dear. And then it'll be oh my God again at some point in the future. So slap a like on today's live stream. What likes are we up to now? Have we reached the full target yet? Right. 70. We're at 70 likes. Only 30 likes left to go.
One thing I would say about that with the Lambo though is my lesson I've learned from the previous bear market was every time I took profits and thought I was taking profits, I would then go into another altcoin the next day because I had no self-control. So what I've learned is maybe actually buying physical items or assets with your profits stops you from being an idiot that continues to buy more altcoins instead of, you're not really taking profits then. You're just, well, you are, but it's not the same as actually having.
You're completely correct. One of the biggest pieces of advice that I could give to anybody is next bull run, buy a house. It's one of the best decisions that I made. I bought a house. It cost several £1 million, and it was my best investment throughout all of this because my house has gone up about 30% in price since I agreed to buy it nearly 3 years ago now. It took a year to actually complete the purchase of the thing, so just bear that in mind. When I agreed to purchase the house, I was worth so much money, and by the time I came to pay for it, again, similar type of situation. I'd lost a bunch of cash by the time I came to pay for it. But I don't regret purchasing it at all. It means that forever I'll be a millionaire. It doesn't matter what kind of silly mistakes I make, so long as it's not relating to loans or things like that. I'll always be a millionaire because my house is always going to be worth more than £1 million. And I advocate for everybody to do that. It's something that you can't mess up. People can get carried away. You can get carried away on a trade. You can get carried away investing too much into the wrong thing. But if you live inside your investment, you can never sell your investment until you don't live inside it anymore. And to some extent, I really want to sell my investment right now. I really, I mean, I've been asking my girlfriend if I can sell it over and over and over again, and she keeps saying no. It'd be amazing if I was actually allowed to sell it though, because if I could sell the house, I could buy like £3.5 million with Bitcoin, and I could also sort out a few other things, and I have so much Bitcoin. It'd be great. And then just like, I don't know, go and live on a beach for a bit and come back when just quit everything, go and live on a beach. And
that wouldn't be great for me.
Yeah, it wouldn't be great for you lot, but I mean, saying that, it wouldn't be that bad because I could afford to still fund Crypto Saving Expert without even working. And that could go on for a long time as well, because Crypto Saving Expert will come up with ways of making money. Anyway, we're getting off the point here. I was meant to be talking about the price of Bitcoin. I was looking at the weekly. Let's just quickly check in on the daily chat. Don't forget to slap a like on today's live stream. That would be greatly, greatly appreciated. We're trying to get to 100 likes. How are we going to do it? We're at 73 so far, and we've got 70 people now watching live, which is fantastic. Don't forget, if you are enjoying the stream so far, to share it with your friends in their group chats. Where else should they share it, Jess? Where can people share
on things? Twitter? I'll put the link to the tweeting that I've just posted. So if you can retweet this, please, that would help us as well.
Yes, that would be fantastic. Also, text this stream to your mother. She might enjoy it as well. Everybody's mom likes a bit of crypto every now and again. I'm being deadly serious. Like, it's an interesting topic. You should reintroduce it into the house, because ultimately they're not going to get screwed over this time, because if you tell them while it's cheap rather than when it's expensive. Trust me, this year's Christmas dinner conversations were very different than last year's Christmas dinner conversations. This year's Christmas dinner conversations were more like, yeah, now's the time, pull the trigger. Whereas last year was more like, I'm a bit wary about this. Whatever you invest, I'll back. Whereas this year, there was no, if you invest, I'll back it. None of that. It was all, just put your money in. Do it now. Even if it goes down another 50%, who cares? Who cares? When Bitcoin's going to go all the way back up again. Seen it before. JR Garage Memes 2017, if you were there. I wish those guys had come back and make crypto videos again. They were so easy to bully. They were fun videos back in the day. Anyway, I think my voice is going at this point, so I will end. I'll stop sharing my screen.
Yeah, that's everything really. Yeah, we're at $16,638 for Bitcoin. We've seen a little bit of green movement upwards today, but the headlines haven't been too catastrophic like we've seen previously. It's just a slow day in crypto today, really.
Yeah, just go to cryptosavingexpert.com, subscribe to our newsletter. The newsletter is coming out every Tuesday. However, there will be a special New Year's edition this time with a whole segment written by me. So if you want to hear from me, or you don't want to hear from me, I don't care. You should definitely still subscribe to the newsletter because I don't always write in it. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Yeah, lucky dip. Oh, hey. But essentially, newsletter is great. We spend a lot of money and time and effort creating all of this content, and it's nice when people enjoy it and yeah, that kind of thing. So,
and if you missed the Boxing Day newsletter, I believe, or the Christmas Day newsletter, it spoke about what's happened month by month in 2022. So I am going to cover that in tomorrow's live stream at 11 a.m. and recap the year. So it'll be the last live stream of the year.
Am I doing that one with you, Jess?
You are welcome to.
Okay, I'll do that one with you. Everybody put notifications on for the channel. I'm going to come on tomorrow's live stream as well. We're going to discuss the ups and downs, or mostly downs, of 2022. And it'll be a fun stream, all that.
And then next year, hopefully, we'll be recapping something a bit more cheerful.
Well, next year, we'll see. I hope it goes well. Otherwise, it's definitely bad news. Which is not good news. We don't like bad news. Having said that, I don't know. I don't feel that bad about the markets. I just feel annoyed that I didn't earn any money for 3 weeks this month because I was ill. That's really the majority of my bad mood comes from the fact that I was not able to earn enough money this month to cover my costs. So my net outgoings for the first time this year were negative this month, which was really annoying because I've managed to keep it positive all year, and the final month I got negative. Hate it.
Someone's asking for a driving update in the chat.
A driving update in the chat. Okay, yeah, I can give you one of them. There we go. I'm going to save this for my video later. I may as well do this update with my helmet on. All right. You want a driving update? So, I may as well talk to you through here. Essentially, I start with the racing of cars again in February, and it's going to be fun. And the vlogs should start in February. I've managed to find somebody I hope that is capable of sorting all of that stuff out. So yeah, there'll be regular vlogs of me racing cars at very stupid, ridiculous speeds, possibly hurting myself, for those of you that don't like me. And those are all going up on YouTube. So yeah, this helmet, you know how much this costs? It's between these two, this helmet and this hands device, £7,000 for those.
Jesus Christ.
And it's because they can't.
Half a Bitcoin, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's more than that. It's like 0.8 Bitcoin in today's money. And I have to buy that in a bear market. People go, oh, you're poor now. No. You're spending $7,000 on a helmet. No, you're not. You don't. There are levels. I feel poor. I'm not poor though. It's just things are not as fun as what they were. They used to be so fun. You used to go out and used to make like $1 million every day, regardless of anything. Like it was insane back then. Now is not the same. Now is not as fun. But those days, because I've now tasted it, and Jess has tasted it as well. We've all drank the soup from what do you call it? Crypto Jesus. We've all drank Crypto Jesus soup, and we all know it tastes very nice. So we're sticking around. Jesus will return. That's what he did, isn't he? He get resurrected. Jesus is on his way back. Just wait, his taxi's delayed. Should we wrap things up? Turn on notifications, subscribe. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you all for watching. Go and subscribe to Interpret Crypto if you want to be bored out of your mind watching somebody else. Yeah,
it's a very good channel.
It's nonsense, utter nonsense, drivel. Yeah, slap a like. Jess is a nice person, and see you in the next live stream. Jess, you can end it now.
I will end it now. Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye bye. Bye bye.